Do I have to take it? Like,
I don't
just,
know.
like,
I was gonna do it. Okay, welcome back, everyone, to the live breakdown. I'm your host, Richie. I'm here with my co-host.
Hey, it's Aleks.
this is Aleks Steib reporting for duty.
And before we talk about any fun stuff today, I want to bring our special guest out immediately because I think it's going to bring a little fun chaos for tonight. What do you think, guys?
It is gonna be a lot of chaos tonight, so I say.
I've been waiting for this guest for a long time. I'm hungry for them. I'm ready to see them come on.
Well, let's bring them on. Please welcome the winner of Paul vs. Chaos, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam,
Welcome back.
yeah, we're glad
Hey,
to
y'all.
finally have you on. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm very happy to be here. I've been long-time watcher, first time on screen, you know.
Amazing.
That is amazing. Like,
We're so glad we can finally get a winner on like you, because
right?
when you play
No,
too
I've been
good,
wanting to
you
get a lot
can't
of
be on the
people
early bird pod.
Like literally, I've been wanting to get a lot of people on, and it's a shame that we the last few seasons, we've had a lot of people who we just haven't been able to get on. But we got you on now. I also want to say a couple special announcements before we get started. Applications for the next 2 Survivor Wisconsin seasons 11 and 12, are open until Sunday. They were initially going to close, but they are now extended. So go apply now. If you want to play, they will close on Sunday, November 9th, and they will then reopen on January 1st next year in 2026. Now, I have a lot of friends that actually are applying or say they're applying. So, I mean, honestly, I'm excited. I hope they apply. I hope I'm involved in casting this time around so I can vouch for them, because I'm really excited to see a lot of the people who I've heard are applying right now, because I think there's definitely a lot of star potential that people are going to see. One other thing, I want to give a shout out to a couple of our production members. Once my light is fixed, there we go. I want to give a couple of shout outs. First off to Kyle, second off to Steib, both of which have birthdays this week. Kyle's is today, Steib's is tomorrow at the time of recording this. So, you know,
Happy birthday, Kyle.
Happy birthday, Kyle
birthday.
and Steib.
Kyle and Steib. I know, I know, but I said it to Steib first.
You did.
Yes, I did.
We're popping off. You know where we're gonna be tomorrow at Pop in Milwaukee. Come out.
Hell
Let's watch
yeah.
Survivor together.
Guess I gotta book a flight.
Yeah.
Damn, you to be out there would be iconic. Like Bryson Webb, like.
Well, that'd be great.
Oh my god. Okay, so with that in mind, I think those are a couple of our announcements. As always, please leave your questions towards the end in our live viewer question segment, just so it helps us focus a little more. And we can hopefully get to your guys' live questions a lot faster. We have a lot to talk about. As I so subtly hinted last breakdown, today's episode was a double boot, not as in double tribal, but just 2 rounds in 1 episode. I will say, after the last live breakdown, Will texted me, called me a twat, and was all like, "That's not what happened, Richie." And I'm like, "Will, that's not what I meant." Like,
I was a witness to that as well.
So what do you say?
I can vouch. I was a witness. I heard it from him as well. So
I can't. Will's such a funny person. I love talking to Will. He makes me laugh.
Great guy.
What do you say?
Great guy.
Oh, he is a great guy. Yeah, I agree with that. And Ben saying twat manner.
Oh man.
Okay, jokes aside, I think we should just get straight into the episode, right, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, we got a long campaign ahead of us. We got 2 boots to get through. Let's push on through.
All right, so I do think there was a tiny bit of Lico before the second immunity challenge. Anyone want to go talk about that just to refresh my memory a little bit, because that would help me a lot.
I think you should, because you filmed that. I think you should,
because it's very bold of you to assume I remembered that, since everyone's saying I'm a twat in the comments.
No.
Aleks, come on.
I filmed it. That's how we usually do it. So go ahead.
But but you're struggling. I want to try to see if you can do this. You're like an underdog here, Aleks.
No. I say we just go right to the challenge, you know?
Well, I do think it was interesting. There was I do think it was interesting, kind of like Kayla, because I mean, you even see this throughout the episode too with Kayla. I will just bring this up before we go to the challenge. Like Kayla is definitely trying to, despite the fact that it's still like right after Jamil's vote off, Kayla's flat out trying to still distance herself from Jamil, trying to make sure that no one sees her as someone who is, again, too attached to him, which I don't think is a bad thing, because, you know, in the game, you say someone's on redemption, they all know they could get back in the game, you have someone very close to you still in the game, that person comes back in, major threat right there. So I do think it's not bad gameplay for them to, for Kayla to try to separate herself a little bit. Will it work? Who really knows? But I really just kind of wanted to call that out because I forgot she did this right off the bat, but I do remember she did this throughout episode 2. So anyone else want to say anything before we go on to the challenge?
No, not really. I think if Sam has anything, if you add on.
Only thing I'd think of really is putting back to Kayla. It is going to be extremely important if we end up with that email coming back in for Kayla to very much be distant and stuff. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, last vote with Kayla actually voting Jamil. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, Kayla did vote for Jamil in the last tribal council.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with that even happening, I think that kind of is a testament as to really demonstrating, like, physically that Kayla is willing to play her own game. It isn't playing tied to the hip to Jamil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.
I love that we finally get to have you on to talk about this too, Sam. So, you know, we're very happy you're on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I think we should just go to the challenge. I don't think there's really much of Koa that I can recall from before the second challenge, unless I'm forgetting something.
No. Nothing.
Watch me get
Nothing.
I've got like no notes from any of that, so.
No.
All right, I think we should go to the immunity challenge then, where it is a challenge we've done quite a lot. It is idle hands, and there's some fun stuff.
Challenge of our Wisconsin and Whitewater seasons.
No, we never did idle hands in Whitewater.
Do we never?
No, we never did. Because when we did it in Cabin Fever, I was like, "Oh, this is unique," and then we did it like 4 times in a row.
Oh, my bad.
I remember it. I can remember it pretty vividly from season 5, Captain's Curse, when it was me versus Aleks in Idle Hands, and he used the ultimate strat of just launching your idol into the sky.
The cheating strat, as what they said in our season.
You did it to me, but I didn't consider it cheating.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. This challenge essentially. This is the this is a 5th time we've done this in a Wisconsin series. However, the second time we've done it in tribes. Second time we've done it in tribes where one person from each tribe goes up every round. They have a cup on a little statuette. They have to trying to knock the other player's cups off their statuette while holding their own up. And whichever player is able to keep their cup up while knocking the others down gets a point. First tribe to X amount of points wins immunity. I will say, before we get into who won this challenge, there was a lot of funny moments how when Amelia and Kayla were up, I think it was around like 2 or 3, so early on, they like go so aggressive. This just breaks. Everything just breaks, and I just thought it was so funny.
It was mass hysteria behind the scenes. We were panicking a little.
Dying. I was like I think I said in the comments in the YouTube, in the YouTube live chat when the episode aired, I'm like, Amelia and Kayla broke the hourglass. History has changed, and I was like, see, finally someone laughed at that joke. Thank you, Sam. That actually makes my
God.
Yeah,
I will say that, like, it's funny seeing it break like because that challenge. I think it's a testament to the players like wanting it so bad that it broke already, and good pivot.
I will say, I will say, I'm glad this time it kind of was a little different in how some people were actually like trying to play, but it still kind of felt like, at least to me, and like Aleks and Steib, I'll pass off to you guys too, and Sam, I'll pass off to you guys to talk a little bit more. I kind of felt like, again, it was still very similar where a lot of players were trying to throw their cup in the air, knock the others down, which is kind of just become the strat with this challenge, which is kind of why it's like every now and then I think it's fine, but it's kind of like whenever it does happen, I'm kind of just like, okay, like this challenge is okay, but like I feel like it's always come down to the same strat, which I don't know, maybe like next time we do it, maybe we could change it so where they have to do it, but like sorry, there was a comment I saw from Devin. That was really funny.
For me, yeah, I feel like
I'll pass off to you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, mine's pretty quick as well. I'm usually quick with these things. For me, I like it just because it's a quick challenge, and with our night kind of going by pretty quickly. One of those challenges where it's like a 10-minute challenge is really fine, just because it's so easy to do, and like I know like I'm more of like a behind the scenes guy, and like I like how it's all scripted, so like having a challenge like that in there really kind of flows with the game much better than having like a 30-minute challenge that's like something crazy. So that's kind of why I like the challenge. And sure, the flipping of the cup or stuff above and swatting it down, it's fine. I don't really mind it. It's kind of a hack to the game, and a lot of people did it as well. So it's more fun when both people throw up in the air to see who gets down first. But it doesn't really matter for me. It's just a challenge, and it's a staple to this game we play. So it's good to have like some kind of like challenge we can rely on to bring back.
Absolutely, and this challenge is so entertaining to watch, and you could hear all the participants in the background reacting and having such a good time swatting these idols out of each other's hands. And there were some pretty iconic moments and some pretty interesting close calls that we saw, like with that nonsense that Ben had where he was hitting it off of every wall and off of his foot or something. Like it was bonkers, and we love that challenge. I was surprised to see it take place indoors, like in a room with a chandelier there. I was definitely concerned about that.
I was about to comment on that. I'm like, they're doing this in a very closed space indoors, and honestly a very tight space. I was surprised as well because we saw it happen a few times where a player would honestly almost use the wall as kind of an advantage in it, despite the circle not being on the wall. Right. But I think the compact space as well, with being such a closed space, made this challenge go by that much quicker.
I will say, because a comment sec, I will say a couple things. One fun little flashback I thought of to Summer Solstice when Ryan did this when Ryan kind of pulled like what Ben kind of did tonight, where they're kind of like bouncing it off of stuff. Whereas like Ryan, I think won that challenge if I recall correctly in Summer Solstice.
Yeah, it was Ryan and Connor, and they're both like batting it up, and I think Ryan got like the last.
That was iconic, Ryan. Yeah.
That was a classic. Yes.
Yeah, it'd be fun to see him back someday. Second chance. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyways. No, Ben kind of did the same thing, or at least he tried to, but they told him it was out of bounds. I was thinking the same thing with the chandelier, Sam. I think halfway through the challenge, I was like, wait a minute. Because we did the same thing in Cabin Fever. We did it, I think, in that area, if I recall correctly. I think it was Jasper, was, of all people, who was the first one to realize there was Jasper, if I recall correctly, who I think was the first one to realize you throw it up in the air, smack it down, which, again, very smart strategy. But then, of course, everyone kind of does that now. So, I wouldn't mind seeing this challenge back in the future, but, I would really love to see it. If we ever bring it back in the near future, it'll, make it so that they can't throw it in the air and then slap it down, just to kind of, see what other strategies come up with it. Because it kind of feels like it's the same, but, that's just me. I don't hate this challenge, but, I'm trying to think of one other thing. There was one other thing I was going to say that I actually forget with this. Nope, it's gone.
We should probably keep moving then. Talk about who won the challenge.
Yeah.
All right. Unless any of you guys have something else you want to say about this challenge before I reveal who won.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm just more surprised a light bulb didn't bust. No, that was because those were glass light bulbs, and I'm really surprised that none of them got broken. So, yeah.
And it's pretty much a blowout, if I recall correctly. Tribe Lico wins immunity. I believe it was 5-1, with Joey being the only one to get him a point, right?
Yeah.
If it was not that, it was somewhat close. And I do.
Or was it?
It ended 7-2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I think Sam's right.
Amelia got a point for that too, and I realized that as I said, I'm like, wait a minute, no, it was 7-2. still essentially a blowout. I mean, it was really fun to watch. Joey kind of again do pretty well in this challenge.
Losing a shoe.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
That was great.
But yeah, I think we should move on to Liko Tribe after the challenge. And there was a lot of funny stuff in this whole little segment that I honestly loved getting to film. There's a lot of the tribe just like talking around. Kayla knocks over water, and they're all just like, Kayla, what the shit? Like, I thought that was funny. Kayla is just like feeling so bad about breaking something else.
Oh yeah.
I do think it was funny. My favorite scene was when Kira and Dick, they're all looking for idols and bandages and shit downstairs. They lift up a picture. And I will say, this scene went on for a solid 5 minutes. I was dying during this scene because I literally was like, this is like the Three Stooges right here. Because they're trying to put it back up and it just keeps flopping down. And every minute, they're like, they finally they were like, where's the nail? Get the nail. Puts it back up. Boop, boop, and you would literally hear it fall on the ground. Like it was on for so much longer. I mean, I won't be surprised. It was because I was laughing so hard that they probably didn't use more of it. But like, I was glad they were kind of intertwining the confessionals between the scenes. Like, I thought that was really good editing work that I want to shout out to Devin with. I loved that whole work there with like editing it together like that to intertwine it, like show a little bit of the scene, and then a confessional about the scene, go back to the scene. I think that's really cool. But I'm trying to remember some other stuff. Sorry, you can go first.
I have something funny, at least I recognized from the pre-tribal, at least from just confessionals and stuff. Just from Vincent's confessional, continuing from last season, Vincent keeps dropping the word chaos a lot in his confessionals, which I'm excited to see if he brings the chaos this season, because as he's said in this time, this tribe right now is boring. There's not much happening here. They've gone through one vote, of course, but even still, that was a simple vote for Yamil because Yamil's a clear target on their tribe. But now it's like everyone's kumbaya. We really don't know what's going to happen yet. We'll see, of course, but who knows?
Yeah. I love that. Alex, Steib, do you have any thoughts about Liko or anything before the second tribal?
Yeah, just like the general talk around that tribe, just like, kind of just seeing like who's gonna get voted out, and like kind of like seeing like the tribe split up. Like, there's 2 season 5 players. There's Ben and Annika from season 7. There's Nick and Dan from season 8. So like the tribe split pretty even now. Joey as well is in there. But them just kind of seeing like who's they get voted out, kind of it's just fun to see like what the other tribe's thinking about the whole scramble that is going on upstairs. So I do like that, all kind of woven in with the picture falling down.
Right. I do think, because I do remember Will was even talking a lot of strategy as well, with him trying to get people to consider like what's going on, and how he really is seeming to be like one of the more strategic thinkers of the tribe that we're seeing up to this point, whereas everyone's thinking strategically, but I feel like we're seeing a lot more of Will and his thoughts versus anyone else's on the tribe. Kayla, as always, such a fun person to have on, because it's just like you see her immediately going to like K-Cash Money, and she's all like little K-Cash Money, little in depth, little broke, like the little. I forgot she had the fan with her, but like it was just iconic. Steib, what do you have to say about it, birthday boy?
Yeah. I think this is a must-win for Liko, so I'm glad they were able to get that win, because losing 2 tribal challenges in a row is certainly a horrible way to start the game. I think people are sitting pretty good in this tribe. I'm thinking Maddie's probably sitting the best, because she has the idol and nobody has a clue that she has it, and she's willing to like lead everybody else out to go look in umbrellas for other advantages, and acting inconspicuous.
Touch my umbrellas. I was so mad when I saw that. Like, dude, we said people can't touch my stuff, and they touched my stuff because
those were yours.
Yeah, they're my umbrellas. Like,
come on, man. I told them 100 fucking times not to touch your shit. I told them not to touch anything.
Look, if people are desperate, they're gonna do anything for that idol.
True.
And
yeah.
I told them not to touch her stuff.
Fine, it's fine.
Not touch her stuff. That is our sub. They do not touch our sub.
I'm sure it was a misunderstanding. I'm sure they didn't know. But yeah, no, going back to what I was trying to say, Maddie's in a pretty good position in this point in the game, and to have that advantage and to have nobody know that you have it, it's looking pretty good for her right now.
Yeah,
I also got a couple more. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to speak actually.
To add a follow up to that, really, is that Maddie's in a good spot, but I think the person right now who might be in arguably the best spot on this tribe, I keep hearing her name over and over again from confessionals, from people talking, is Amaris. Amaris' name keeps getting brought up as someone who can be trusted, who's like, I want to work with Amaris. I want to get further in the game with Amaris. And I feel like I've heard it from, I feel like I heard it from 4 separate people's mouths throughout this, at least even this first half of the episode. So what that's telling me is that Amaris might be someone to look out for in the future, because Amaris has all these connections. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly like that, because I do agree. Like, Maris is very well situated in this tribe, and as a whole, again, like, she's also another person I feel we kind of get to hear a little bit more of, you know, regarding just everything. Again, like Maris and Will. I guess I cannot speak tonight. What the fuck? I'm gonna move on. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about with legal before, or do we want to just move on to Koa?
Nothing other than Dick had the quote of the episode, you know, when we were talking about that painting that fell down about loose holes. That was fucking hilarious.
I know I should have set a PG warning at the start of this. I swear to God.
I've got something kind of more transitional as we get to the other tribe. It's something that Will said, at least, that I thought was interesting. Is that Will brings up a good point about being on the bottom, in that his mistake from last time being that he only talked one-on-one, but that if you want to get out of a position on the bottom, you have to talk to a group at the same time and talk to many people at once.
I do like that, because, yeah, we'll get into Trapacoa, and I feel like one guy on there did a really good job already. So, yeah, I think we just go right there.
Yeah. What was it?
Upstairs.
How did Jesse say Micronesia? Like, we'll get to it, man. I'll do it. We'll get to it. Sam got my joke. I see you smiling.
Classic. Yeah.
That is classic. Jeff and Jason. Micronesia is such a good season, you know. But our seasons are just as good. If you have not watched the episode we're talking about, or any of our past seasons, or the season Sam down here won, go watch all of our past seasons. Go have fun with it. Watch all of our seasons, you know, guys. Like, it's fun. Come on.
Damn.
And I thrive on attention, so, you know, it helps me in the long run. I'm going to keep making a joke tonight. We do get to Koa, and pretty quickly, it is pretty quickly down to Ben pretty much immediately telling everyone that, like, hey, Annika was starting to say, let's get rid of Joey. And there really isn't too much objection to it. I know Joey at one point, I believe, was pushing for, it was Addie, correct?
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Yeah,
no, then we get to see Ben, Dan, and Emilio form this little 3 called the Dabbed Tribe. Classic name, of course. You know, got him with that. But yeah, no, they formed the 3 really quickly, and you know, they all seem pretty tight as well, with kind of grabbing Nick in as well as a 4th for that vote, even though we'll see later that Nick didn't actually vote together with them. So, but yeah, you know, I do feel like, you know, that 3 is a good 3, and Ben did a really good job kind of gathering them in and forming something quickly.
Right. I was definitely really like, I was looking at Ben, I'm like, this is a really good move on his part. Because again, like, I mean, Ben was one of the people I was the most worried about coming into the game. So, like, going into the second episode, seeing how quickly he was able to get people on his side and everything, I thought was really good on his part. And I think it's definitely, as we've seen throughout this episode, it's definitely coming to help him in strides, as we've seen so far. Obviously, who knows past this point? We do, but he doesn't know. You don't know. I lost track. Something almost fell behind.
Yeah.
I was like, what
Here's
the fuck is that? Okay, you guys talk while I try to fix whatever the fuck it was that fell. So
yeah.
Die.
Of course.
No, when I when I was helping on production this season, I was filling in with losing tribes and filming confessionals on the losing tribes, and I was getting a lot of key intel in the game as the game went, and I enjoyed early on this alliance of the Dab Alliance. There you go, with Dan and with Amelia and with Ben. I thought that was a pretty. You can start the vibe counter now because I was getting good vibes from them early on, so I'd just say keep an eye on them.
Oh yeah, and I do like Addie just not like she is a steel door. You cannot get info out of her at all. She will not give you anything to go off of, and it's so funny just kind of like watching back and saying like, yeah, she was not giving people anything to work with, and it was so funny because she is just a straight up like she's a player. She's kind of like a player like Will, where Will's just a straight up guy, and he is not gonna really lie to you unless he like really needs to. But he's a really straight up guy, and Addie was just also just a straight up person. Like she told it how it is, and did not care, and just wanted to fucking smoke her cigarettes outside, which is all to you.
I respect it.
But yeah, it was so funny just seeing her just not give any intel to anybody at all, just kind of keeping it towards her.
I do say as well, I think it's interesting that we're getting this Dab Alliance from, in all things, one player from 3 different seasons all coming together to form this sort of alliance. Because right now, at least from what I've seen, and it feels like if you played a season together, you're automatically going to be closer as a result, because you've gone through the same experience at the same time. So I think it's really interesting that we're getting an alliance of 3 separate people, all from different seasons, where they're in a strong position where they each have 1 or 2 other people who they feel like they can trust as well alongside that alliance as almost like a backup. And there's no one on the tribe that's left out of that kind of situation.
Yep. And I also do want to point out Amelia, going into this game, she is one of like the people who like no one really knew about going into the game other than she played season 5. But her like doing so good so early on and kind of forming again this realliance, even though she didn't know Ben nor Dan going into this game, and just going off of vibes alone again, because Ben and Amelia kind of again shared like the same kind of like chaotic fun personality, so they just blended so well together. And then bring in Dan, who is kind of like not really like a kind of out there guy, but he's also like kind of reserved. It's like a good mix of like personalities. So that's a really good 3. And just grabbing Amelia and not really bringing Addie in again, it's a great, because Addie can always get pushed off to the side, but then Amelia has a lot of. I think I just swim Will. I'm not gonna lie.
I guess so. Like, dang.
The queen has arrived in the chat, guys.
Just to even continue on to add to that as well.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just had it in my brain. Amelia's very much impressed me with how early she's come in and has put herself in arguably one of the best social spots in the game, between anyone. Because we'll get to it more later, but some stuff that Amelia does later in the episode kind of puts in my mind that Amelia is going to have some sway in this game. And we'll see that next tribal, of course. But
I think we should get... Is there anything else we want to talk about with this pre-tribal before we just go to the second tribal?
I'm a bit surprised of Annika throwing out Joey's name first out there. It's more of just me being surprised, because as someone else who would have been a first boot in a season, throwing out the other first boot as a name kind of raises a red flag, at least to me in terms of game style. And granted, I'm very, very biased. I'll be honest. Joey's a good friend of mine, so there was going to be some bias coming out of that. It was a surprise for me to hear Annika throwing out Joey's name as Joey's a first boot, and that being one of the criteria to throw him out as a first boot. In the fact that same criteria could be pushed back onto you later down the line. Right. And that's more so just a surprise for me. I don't know if it's a good or a bad move, and I guess we'll see if it was or not, but it's just something interesting I've picked up on.
Yeah, honestly, I definitely have learned the hard way playing a game that if you're going too hard too early, it can definitely put a massive target on your ass. Like if you're not that was a big reason why people were hesitant to work with me my first season, because I talked too much and annoyed the living shit out of everyone. Like you're wheeling and dealing too fast, you're making moves too early, you know. I feel like everyone on Lico is kind of being smart, trying to keep quiet, was a lot of people in co-op we've seen the last couple rounds, they're just everywhere, I feel like. So
it's calm versus chaos.
Right.
Well, that was the last season, but
nice.
it is.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we do? Oh, Joey, I forgot if you guys touched on this while I was trying to fix whatever it was that fell behind me, which I assume is gonna fall over again in 5 minutes. But so Joey's very confident, and he thinks he saved this entire scramble, even though he knows his name's getting thrown out. He thinks that it's still going on Addy. And I do love how throughout this episode, and we even see this in the next round as well, that Amelia almost has Addy's fate in her hands in a way, where she kind of almost has a final say as whether or not she's going to betray her again, which I almost think was pretty funny. I almost thought it was pretty funny. Just again, she's in a spot where she could just screw over Addy, like in Captain's Curse, which, I mean, the parallels. I don't know, I thought it was funny.
The parallels are paralleling. That's all I'm saying. That was some from the live chat. I cannot remember who said that, but we're seeing a lot of them.
Yeah, it's definitely very fun. It's a fun game, fun to analyze it. Anything else we got to say before we go to Tribal?
No.
All right, let's go to Tribal Council. Someone play the Australian Survivor music, you know? They're like voting. We need to get that music in there. It's such iconic music. Okay, Tribal Council number 2. A lot of the same kind of, not like tit for tat. That's not the word I'm looking for. A lot of just kind of the usual stuff. No one really wants to show their cards. I don't know. Do you guys think there's really much anything of interest that I'm remembering right now? Do you guys want to talk about, or?
About Tribal? I don't think so. It was pretty just like kind of keep your cards close to your chest until you have a vote, which we'll get to the voting because Ben's vote off was kind of funny.
Yeah,
it's so early in the game. Oh, sorry.
No,
it's so early in the game that realistically you almost feel like you have to keep your cards to your chest because it is the first vote you're going to, period. So from a lot of the questions, we got a lot of what I like to call nothing answers, where they're saying a lot of things, but in reality, they're saying absolutely nothing.
Right,
I can say that from experience.
Right, no, like, I definitely agree with you, Sam. Like, honest to God, sorry, I just saw a comment Will put in about a game we did recently. Like, it wasn't filmed, but Will was saying some funny stuff.
I'm sorry, Queen. My apologies.
I didn't even say Eddie. I didn't even take him out. I wonder why I'm getting the blame here. Like, fucking traitors. Okay, sorry. Jokes aside. Anyway, I almost lost my train of thought, but no, I definitely agree with that. Like, that's the right answer to give at Tribal, but it's so boring. Like, to watch. It's so boring to watch the same, like, non-answers, like, nothing answers, like, just kind of be presented. Is it smart? Absolutely. But as a player watching, I'm like, guys. Like, someone, like, just say something for the memes, at least. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're watching this and you're playing on 11 or 12, even if you're giving a nothing answer, at least make it a funny nothing answer, like Julie did last season. Like,
yeah, that's true.
How did you say it again? I'm trying to remember. You guys want to remind me?
Was it this Tribal where she said Shannon?
Oh, Addie! Yeah,
we'll
talk about it here regardless. Because I'm sorry, you were gonna say it, Steib.
No, was that at the second Tribal of the episode? I forget.
That was the second one. Because I have comments
on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, we'll get to that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Where's Shannon?
But yeah.
Now? We have to.
I don't know. Just reveal the. I'd say let's reveal the vote.
Reveal the vote, and then we'll go back to.
Then we'll talk about.
Wait, why are we gonna go forward and then backwards? That makes no sense.
No, let's reveal the vote, and then I'll say what I want to say about Joey.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Only because it's your birthday week. So we do get to the vote. It is a 5-2 vote. Second person voted out of Survivor Wisconsin. Second chance. No one's gonna do the drum roll? Okay. Thank you. Joey, by 5-2 vote, unfortunately, is sniped out of the game. In a spot where even in his interview before going to Edge of Extinction, Redemption Island, wherever you want to call it, Joey's clearly blindsided. Like, he did not expect to be taken out at all. Like, Joey's just absolutely shocked, and I feel so bad for him because I mean, like, I've been in that spot before too, where I so badly want to play the game, like a big fan who wants to play the game and just is not able to get his footing early on. And I even throughout this round, we see a lot of people say that, like, they see Joey trying to be better in his game, but that, like, socially it just wasn't working as well as he had hoped, which I kind of feel bad for him. I think, again, this is another tribe where it was just so many big personalities where him being a quieter person just did not exactly help in a group of louder people. But he still has a chance to get back in the game alongside Jamil and someone else we'll talk about later on. So anything you guys want to talk about with Joey's vote off, or anything that you now want to say, Steib?
Yeah, I'll go next. And it's basically actually going to be similar to what you said, Richie, because I see parallels in Joey's games. I see parallels in his games between not just my own games, but some of your games as well, where, like, it is hard when you are at this early stage in the game and you're up for getting voted out of the game. You have nothing, you have no advantages, and if you're a quieter person, it is harder to get these more, like, talkative, more persuasive people to get on your side like that. And unfortunately, in these sort of return seasons, early boots do get favorited pretty early, and it is because of the reasons y'all said. Nobody wants to make the big move yet, but I do feel for Joey, and it is unfortunate, but he did place better than the last one. That's a silver lining.
I do want to say here as well that, like, it kind of feels like they borderline saw Joey as the easy vote, and I've said this dozens of times the last couple seasons, all because it's the easy vote does not mean it's the right vote. It doesn't matter if it's your first tribal or your last tribal. All because it's the easy vote doesn't mean it's the right vote. You have to think through everything before just saying, should I go with the easy vote? And unfortunately for Joey's sake, I think a lot of them just saw him as the easy vote. And will it bite some of them? Will it not? We have yet to find out. But that's always been my thought. Because I did kind of think of that throughout this episode, that they borderline kind of felt like it was the right vote. But, like, who really knows? Yeah, that's my saying with it. So, Sam, Aleks, what do you two have to say about it?
Yeah, we can't go past this trouble without mentioning keep Big Joe away from the vent.
Yes,
I am so glad. I am so happy I went back and took pictures of that damn sign, because it was just so funny that he brought up Big Joe, that big ass beanbag downstairs. And I gotta give props to Ben, because that's actually kind of fucking hilarious.
So funny, because I also own one of those beanbags at my house. So I was like, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's great.
I have a massive ass beanbag in here, but I don't think it's a Big Joe.
But then proceeding to call throwback to Nolan's vote on Joey about calling him a bot is just brutal. Like, that just blows, but it's a good callback, but like, it's still like, damn, man, that just stings.
Ben said it himself. He's playing the fucking asshole. So
yeah, he did say that. He's playing that type of game now.
At least this time, it was purely for the bit.
Yes, it was.
It was a callback.
Yeah.
I saw.
But yeah,
in New Blood going like Natalie.
Yeah.
Oh,
no. I saw a comment from Dan saying he would have loved to work with Joey in different circumstances, and yeah, no, it's all love to Joey, and you could tell from that exit interview, he's ready to get back into this game, and he's willing to try even harder than he already has in the brief time that he was playing this time. So I wish him all the best in that potential battle back coming. And he said, yeah, as long as it's not like a vote, like what happened with season 8, Calm versus Chaos, then maybe he's got a good shot at coming back.
Yeah, who really knows? We have yet to find out about it and what exactly it will entail. I mean, we know, but you guys don't. So I love doing that. That's like my catchphrase at this point. Any last things we want to say before we move on to
round 3, right?
Round 3. Sam, I think you were about to say something.
Nolan probably hates me. Nolan probably hates me for picking Jamil and getting him with Joey.
Very funny. But also, I mean, personally, my heart breaks for Joey because I know how much he wanted his second chance to really do something. And it's a testament, like I said earlier, with Will bringing up a good point, to where Joey really doesn't know that he's on the bottom here. But we see a lot of people. We see Dan, we see Nick, we see Ben, all wanting to go to bat for Joey. But there isn't ever a collective moment of realization between those three. It'd be like, hey, we have numbers. Let's switch this up. And I feel like that is likely his downfall in this scenario, is that he goes home because, simply put it, there isn't enough sticks put together to go after the other side of this vote.
That's so true.
Also, Joey, why did you have to jinx yourself before the vote? You're like, man, I really hope I don't. I could be going out here. Even also in his cast interview at the start, he's like, they're either going to see me as either they're going to use the first boot, like, oh, let's make him first boot again. And the moment he said that, I'm like, Joey, please do not activate a self-fulfilling prophecy here, because very much it could happen.
I do want to give Nick props to Nick, because I'm the certified Nick Glazer. Him not throwing out his name. Him not throwing out his name, first tribal. So gotta give props to that.
Big up for that, truly.
It's a very low bar to hop over, but you know what? He did it. So good job, Nick.
Yeah, I do think it's pretty interesting that Nick did this. Sorry, Sam, you were about to say something?
No, finish what you were saying first, then I'll say it.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know you were talking. I didn't hear you at first. Yeah, Nick doing this is pretty interesting. We do kind of see more of the ramifications from this, which I'll even talk about when we start round 3 talks, because there's a little bit of stuff we do see right before the challenge that I'll talk more about this with. But Nick casting that vote, making it 5-2, I thought that was pretty interesting. So sorry, Sam, you were about to say something.
The only other thing I really had to add to it is we do see Joey going out, and if, unlike last time, this one's a challenge. Something I want to point out as well is we see in the immunity challenge, Joey is the person who is performing consistently well in these challenges.
Yeah.
The other tribe even said themselves, they're like, Joey's good at challenges. So we could see a return from Joey. Do we? I don't know. You guys know, but I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't tell you, I wouldn't tell you if we did know, though, because, what fun is there in that, Sam?
There isn't any.
But... No, honestly, how fun it would be. There's like those Redditors who like spoil Survivor seasons, and like they did that for ours. Like, how funny would that low key be? Like, I don't know why I think that'd be funny. I was thinking about that earlier today. I'm like, that'd be just. Okay, so anything else we want to say for round 2, or are we just gonna move on to round 3 now?
No, yeah, because we'll dive more into Nick's vote in the next round, probably. So.
Well, I think we should just do that right now.
Well, it's a talking point in the next round about the whole second. Go ahead.
Thank you. I didn't think that was gonna work. I was joking. Anyway, sorry. So with Nick, borderline the ramifications, borderline paranoia, immediately starting up where borderline, like, Addie and Amelia are immediately like, who the hell voted for me? Like, who is my... It almost made me think of Rupert and Pearl Islands, where it's like, who the hell voted for me? Who the hell voted for me? John! Who the hell voted for me? Like, I love that.
Yeah.
No, one where, like, freaking Sean drops a spear in the ocean. Oh, okay, sorry. Anyways, Why wasn't Rupert on 50? Sorry. Okay, I'm not going into that. Anyways, so long story short, like Nick, I don't remember Nick really talking much about it before the challenge, at least, but you do kind of see like Ben jokingly take credit for it, only for like adding Amelia to think he's serious. And Ben like, no, I'm joking, y'all. Like, and I thought that was a funny scene from Ben. It's one of the reasons I love watching Ben in the game, because it's like he will just say stuff for the memes, and whether or not people get it, it's fun, because I've been in that same spot where I'll do stuff for the memes and people get so mad at me, and I'm like, y'all, it's a joke, fucking chill. Like, so
yeah. Let's go to round 3 and kind of go right to
round 3.
Right to the challenge, because we could see the reactions.
You want to talk about Lico's little chant?
Yeah, what?
That's what I get to, dude. I said Lico's reaction to the vote off.
Yeah,
that was a very nice job filming that like tunnel entrance from Lico. I will say that much. Thank you, Richie.
Yeah, thank you. I had so much fun doing that. I remember I was like talking to Kira. I'm like, Kira, can I go first? And I just love the eye roll she did, which is just like I was laughing so hard when she did that. I'm like, Kira, that's iconic. And I just love getting that, because I wanted to get the reactions on camera, because I didn't know who was going out. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was even shocked too by the vote off. Like, I was like, there was no way in hell they would do that. And like, they were all, I will say, like, we'll talk about it later, but they were all pissed Joey was out first. Like, but we'll talk about that later on. But like, I remember like Maris kind of looking at it, go like Maris was genuinely shocked. Like,
the whole tribe was shocked.
What?
The whole tribe was shocked.
Right, everyone was shocked. No one expected it to be Joey when we got to the challenge. So,
yeah.
I did remember something that I wanted to mention that slipped my mind earlier that I thought was interesting as well. With this purple tribe versus this blue tribe, is that on this purple tribe, we're seeing a lot of more early boots from previous seasons coming back, versus the blue tribe, where we're seeing a lot of people who got further in the game on a different kind of mindset. So we're seeing a dichotomy between people who've been in the game longer and knows what it takes to get longer versus people who haven't had a chance to go further in the game. And especially with that last vote, there is a lot more easy targets when someone's been in the game for much longer in the game. And I feel like that also contributes a bit.
I like that you brought that up, Sam. Like, I actually was starting to realize that too recently, where I was like, most of the people on Koa right now, I think outside of Ben, are like early boots who didn't even make it past round like 5 or 6 maybe. I think like Ben's the only one of that tribe who made it far. So I definitely think it was really interesting. That's actually really good you brought that up, Sam.
Yeah.
I think we should. What were we gonna say, Alex? Okay. So we do get to the third challenge, where it's kind of like in, I believe it was 3 pairs of 6, or 3 pairs of 6, 3 pairs of 2. I cannot speak today. 3 pairs. 1 pair has to shoot a ball out of their cup into the other person's cup. They each have to get in their cup. I believe it was 3 times. They then have to give the ball to the next person. We'll have to try to throw it into cups like Pong. Both of the pair has to do it, and then the last pair has to work on a Tower of Hanoi puzzle to move the stack from one area to another peg. And first tribe to do this wins immunity. I like the Tower of Hanoi puzzle. I was very happy to see this in there. I'm pretty decent at it, I will say. I don't know if I do it as fast as Maris did in this challenge, but we'll get to that in a few moments. But as a concept or base, whatever as a whole, what did you guys think about this challenge?
Yeah, I love these like 3-stage challenges. It's a good mix, and it gives everybody a chance to really participate in them. So, and I do like the change up of puzzles, because I don't think we've seen this puzzle in the game ever. So that's a new one, and yeah,
at least
I think it's a good challenge.
Steib, Sam, what do you guys think?
I can go ahead next. Yeah, I'm very much a fan of these sorts of challenges as well. These sorts of relay challenges where everybody's doing different things, and it's a fun way to strategize and like say, oh, okay, I can be better at this puzzle sort of game, and when you come through for your tribe and win the challenge and knock out the puzzle, as somebody does, as we'll get to with the result, it puts you in a good position with your tribe. So yeah, I'm a fan of these sorts of mixed up little challenges.
I mean, yeah, I love this kind of challenge, just where it's because it plays to different people's strengths. You know what I mean? Where it's like on one hand you might be good at one thing or versus the other thing. Are we talking about challenge results yet at all? I don't.
Not yet. We're gonna get to
I'll hold off on that part until then. But it's fun to see at least the strategy as well behind it on who goes where and who feels like they're more comfortable doing something.
Yep. Yeah. And it does also put in challenge performance as well, even though people don't really base their votes off that, but it is a voting factor as well of challenge performances. So like say like if you're good at puzzles and you totally take the puzzle, you could be a threat. Well, just like the next vote off just based off of that. So it is a good strategy based choosing like where you are in the stage. So I do think it's a good a good form of challenge that's done in the pre-jury. So
I like this challenge as a whole. I thought it was really interesting, especially because I do think it's really good to kind of have them in pairs to kind of like talk about. I mean, obviously, if they do pairs like every single challenge, it's kind of like but like, I mean, just in this challenge, as we've seen, I think this is like one of the few we've seen them do pairs in so far. I definitely think it's a really good one. Everyone has their own part to do. So, yeah, I think we should just go into the results, right?
Yeah.
It's not even close. Tribe Lico wins again. Thanks to Maris. Maris was a challenge beast in that puzzle. Out of nowhere.
Look, she's got games on her phone.
She's got games on her phone, right?
She's
got games on her phone. She's got, it's like, she's probably like the kid who went up to her mom as a kid being like, Mom, can I play games on your phone? And it was just all of the puzzle games. Like, I thought that was just a really great moment for Maris, kind of winning her tribe immunity. And I almost kind of feel like it's almost like, especially compared to how in New Blood, she didn't get a chance to play the game. She didn't get a chance to really show her tribe what she could do. So I really like that this time around, she actually gets to like...
She's putting herself in these positions to win.
Right, exactly. She's putting like the make it or break it positions, which can either help you or harm you a lot, depending on the perception people have of you. So it can either help you and people see you as a benefit, or if you lose, they see you as a liability, or if you win it too many times, they see you as a threat. Who really knows? But as of right now, I believe people are just kind of seeing her as more of a benefit than anything. At least that's what I would believe. So what do you guys have to say about the rest of this challenge before we move on?
No, I just think that she just totally destroyed that, because I am not good at those type of puzzles. I'm good at puzzles in a different factor, but like not those puzzles. Because I'll be on there for like 10 minutes, probably just going back and forth with these little cylinders and going back and forth with them. But no, yeah, I don't think she did a single mistake on that thing. She was just flying through that thing. So I gotta give props to her, because she did so good on that.
Yeah, agreed. Props to Lico as a whole for winning 2 tribal immunities back to back. It's very huge moves for them. And Ben may not appreciate it too much as we see him chatting away, talking his smack. I'm not seeing enough emojis, Ben. Put them in your messages. Come on now. But like y'all have been saying, Maris just locked the fuck in. And as we can tell, she's a smart, skilled player. But like you said, being in those must-win for your tribe situations, she's also confident in her skills to play the game too.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to say?
Oh, I do like the throwback with Nick, because Nick got his 2 balls in right away, and then we go back to him missing 40 times on the return challenge.
Oh, come on! He's been through enough.
It was so funny though.
He has been through enough, Alex. Oh, I think just hit my screen.
I will say, mad props to the editors for that kind of stuff, because those are always super fun to watch.
Yeah,
the parallels. There's so many.
Yes.
But yeah, he got redemption for that.
Yeah, Nick did get redemption for that. I really am glad. I feel like even throughout this round, we almost see a bit of like parallels, people talking about their past seasons and like what happened before. I do love when we get to see little like flashbacks into history of our older seasons that maybe some people aren't aware of or haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
I thought it was really fun. It's always fun to kind of see a little, and again, it's a nice little redemption arc for Nick there. I thought it was really good for Nick. You know, like Nick is one of my favorite players I've seen watch play the game. So like, of course I'm happy for him that he got that the first try. Because I will say in Con vs. Chaos, I did actually feel really bad for him. He was so desperately trying to throw him in. I'm like, Nick.
Yeah. Also, to add to the parallels, another thing that we saw before is the blue ball coming out again.
Oh my god!
Right in Kayla's face.
Yep.
And she's like about to punch Christian with it. I was about to say like I was wanting to make a joke and be like, Kayla, you go, girl.
That's some
Kayla
prime Christian. Christian trolling right there at its finest.
Oh, he does. Yeah, I will say. Yeah, I've been friends with Christian for over like 21 years now. Like he will troll you so hard, but in like the most lighthearted way he can. Like it's fun.
Yeah, Kayla was
not
really
the blue balls, man.
So with the broken skull trophy thing, and then of course the a blue ball coming out, just a reminder. Poor Kayla.
You know what they say, controversy makes cash money.
Fine, you know that they won both challenges, so yeah, she's still safe. Yeah, no. Plus she has Z, so no, she's.
We love Z. We love
Z there, so we're all good.
That's an automatic win right there.
Yep. Oh man.
Sam, do you have anything?
Right there is Z.
Do you have anything you want to say about the challenge, Sam, that you haven't already said, or?
I mean, most of the stuff I'm thinking about this challenge, at least, has already been said. It is funny seeing like how much of a blowout it was, though, because the other tribe didn't even get a chance at the puzzle. If I'm not mistaken, right?
No, they're still shooting balls in the cups.
It's going to be interesting to see if the other tribe coming after this challenge is going to base anything on how they did in the challenge. Right now, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like there's already some set dynamics going into that. But when half the tribe doesn't even have a chance to participate, it becomes that much harder to come upon like a target.
Yeah.
Totally I agree with that. Anything else we want to say before we go on to more stuff?
From the challenge, I think the challenge was well talked about.
Okay. We're going to talk about Lico now then. Tribe Lico, they're safe. They're down. They're chilling. I don't really think there's too much to talk about other than I kind of feel like, again, I do think it was funny that I will say this. All the confessionals were them having the tribal immunity idol. I literally told, I think it was Maris, because I think I did her confessional first, and I was like, you know what? Like, let's get a little prop in here to kind of have him like prop it up just for fun. And all of a sudden, next person comes out holding it. Third person comes out holding it. Fourth, and I'm like,
man, you're a trendsetter.
Right? I was like, it was so much fun. I think Dick was the only one who turned it off. Crazy boom. Anyways, so it was just, I really loved it. That they were using the props. I think it was kind of fun that they kind of used it for this. Made it very special. But yeah, no, like Maris again, we kind of see a lot of her talking about how she hopes Annika is safe if she has connections on the other tribe. A lot of talks about how, again, I almost kind of feel like after this round, like of gameplay, like on Tribe Lico, it almost comes off to me that like the bottom two are borderline Kayla and Vince almost. Or I don't want to say Kayla, but it feels like her and Vince borderline come off to me as like they're on the bottom almost, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys want to dive into that.
I'd wholeheartedly disagree with that, honestly, truthfully. I feel like Vincent might be and Kayla might be in a worse spot than some others on the tribe, but at this point, what I'm seeing, at least from what I've seen on camera, we're not seeing a lot of people have thrown Will's name out there as a potential boot, even after the fact, because they're afraid of what Will could do in the game long term. So Will's, in my opinion, probably in one of the worst spots. And then we see with the content we get from Dick, it's almost all pigeonholed towards like just that idol clue that he has. And so where I'm not sure, it might just not be caught on camera. I'm not sure how well Dick is getting connected to the rest of the tribe. Also considering the fact that he was a surprise contestant, people didn't know he was going to be here coming in. But yeah, I think other than them, Vincent and Kayla are in a pretty rough spot. What I thought was kind of funny as well is the fact that we're seeing in season 8 going from Vincent being a spot where everybody wants to work with him. Everyone is looking to Vincent as a guy to work with long term to keep going into the thing further, to now season 9 where it's almost like no one wants to work with him long term because they know Vincent's a strong player and they know Vincent has the ability to do these things well.
Yeah, I agree as well. Yeah, because also like I see kind of that in Maddie as well, where they kind of know what Maddie's game is. You know, she's a really good social player, and no one really wants to really kind of like work with her just because of how good of a social player she is. But yeah, I do see that in Vinny as well, with him not really kind of like catching anybody in like an alliance with him. Really, he's just kind of like that one single blob on the outside. But there really have been not a lot of like alliance talk really with that tribe at all. So it's all kind of like maybe if they go to like another tribal, then alliances will kind of start forming, kind of like what we see with the Koa alliance right now with their 3-player.
And there also is that 4-person alliance that was made early on with Amaris, Maddie, Kira, and I think it was Vincent, if I'm not mistaken, early on that could have an effect. Yeah. And then similarly, there's the all-girls alliance idea that's been thrown out, which I feel like it's been thrown out. It's been thrown out on both sides. I feel like it's more been thrown out by the people watching it on the other tribe, looking in, more so than it actually been mentioned over here.
Right, and I do want to say with that, like, and this is coming from someone who's been on production a lot, very recently. I feel like almost every season since, I feel like every season of what I like to call like the new era of Survivor Wisconsin, which I essentially would call Captain's Curse to now, like every season outside of Captain's Curse, unless I'm forgetting something, has basically had a lot of talks of women saying like women's alliance, like the women gotta win, we want to have the women work together. I think Captain's Curse might be the only season where that didn't happen, but like I believe it was Abby or Caitlin said it in One World 2. We had a lot like people like Natalie, Maris, and Kira talking about it in New Blood. Last season, Kayla was talking about it. I believe Julie or Linda, I thought, said something minor about it, unless I'm mistaken. But this season, again, there is kind of like what you were saying, Sam. There's a lot of people who have that on their mind. So I thought that was another interesting parallel. So
yeah.
We also hear the word vibe a lot.
Oh, love that word.
Sure do.
Pocket.
I started keeping a counter at one point, and I think I got up to like 6. So
let's go talk to one of the girls this season and see how many vibes they got in their pocket, guys. You know, like let's see what happens.
But Richie, do you want to go more in on Dick's clue he got? Because
I will.
I know that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I know I thought maybe it was mentioned in the first episode, but I think some people in the comments were confused when they saw that Dick had gotten an advantage. So for those people who do not know, or that Dick got an advantage the first round because he was not able to participate in the social hour. He was able to get an advantage. And basically, I believe it was the advantage, correct?
What?
Was it that, or was it something else?
It's not been shown on camera yet.
No, I thought Dick said what it was, though.
It was like a riddle, right?
Yeah, it's a riddle. Well, it's a clue for it's a riddle for the advantage. Wow, I can't. Yeah, it's a riddle for the advantage. Because it's hidden in the house somewhere still.
He's still got to find it.
Yes.
Like,
it's because the advantage has not been placed yet until he finds somebody to talk to. Because it's
did not talk to Will about it? I thought he did.
I didn't hear him talk with anybody about it because he would have. I don't know. Did you talk with him about it?
I'm trying to remember. I'm not gonna. I don't think. No, it wasn't Will. Okay, yeah, good. It wasn't Will then. I was trying to remember because, like, sorry, my hand has been bleeding for the last, like, 10 minutes. So I was, like, trying to remember. I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
how the fuck did that happen?
Probably when that fucker thing up there broke. When I was trying to hit it with the hammer before. And now I got blood on one of my nice blankets. So now I'm pissed off. I zoned out. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I'm not doing good, guys.
As of now, he got the advantage clue when he was upstairs waiting to come down because we knew that he'd be in the game. He got an advantage clue. He has not, maybe, I don't know, but like all you guys really know that right now is that he has a clue to it, an advantage that he has to solve the riddle for and find it.
Right now we have the setup for something could happen, but it hasn't paid off yet.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he did talk to Will about it. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, we can always look back. I can't remember either, so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been I've been running around all day, so I'm kind of.
But it's fine. Is there anything else from Liko that we want to talk about? Because I swear I'm missing one thing that I was going to talk about.
Maddie and Kira are in pretty good positions on this tribe. Maris definitely is. A lot of talk about being insulated from people like Maris and Will, I feel like.
Something else as well that at least Maris pointed out in her confessional as well is that Maddie and Kayla feel like they're coming close as well.
Yeah, that was really interesting. Yeah, you can talk about it.
Go ahead.
Oh,
that was basically what I had. That was it.
But that is a good point because you know, like it's a good read for Maris because you know there are multiple ways to show your connection to somebody, and that's a pretty good way of showing that. So yeah, no, that was a good pickup from her.
Right, like honestly, like being a comm major, guys,
Oh.
God.
Come on,
there we go again.
This is literally like borderline her observing nonverbal communication.
Thank you, Sam.
Like, I just thought it was really cool that like Maris was looking into that, talking about it. As a whole, though, I do think it was very interesting. Maris kind of noticing almost like the depth of kind of like Maddie and Kayla and like their friendship in the game up to this point, how they feel like they can trust each other. I definitely do think it's very important to observe stuff like that in the game because you never know when I could come to help you. And Maris is clearly seeing this. So, I mean, I do just want to... Aleks, I saw that comment in the chat, Aleks. I'm going to... Remember this tomorrow, okay? Anyways... I'm just gonna shut up now. I forgot where I was going because you distracted me, Aleks. And my finger distracted me. So you guys want to finish up before we go to Koa?
No, the only thing else that was just Vincent just drawing parallels to past seasons, really.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing like how things are kind of overlapping with like Second Chance and like season 8 and season 7 stuff, and just kind of seeing how stuff is just kind of like.
Right, and I do think it's really interesting that they're almost like comparing their experiences in the past and almost like comparing like what went well, what didn't go well for them. Like I do think that was also very interesting.
Yeah.
Dead ladybug there, sorry. Yeah, no, flat out. I do think it was very interesting just all the comparison. I think I even said it in the live chat too, that it was really just great to watch all that and kind of see people clearly starting to learn from the past. Kira's even saying that like none of them want to play like they did the last time. So like, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. I totally agree that, yeah, most of them are really trying to play a different game and just kind of either finish a story or try to build off their story that they have been showcasing it in like their past season and then this season. So I think we're ready to go to Koa now.
Yeah, let's do that. Sorry, it was chaotic. I was trying to make sure that my finger is good. We go do Koa, and the scramble's on pretty quickly. I will kind of go through some of the highlights, and then we'll just go into deep diving more about everything that happens. I do remember some stuff about is that like Annika's name at one point starting to get thrown out. And Ben flat out tells Annika, however, the dab lines of Dan, Amelia, and Ben comes together. They're trying to talk, saying that they should stick together. Amelia is basically then saying that, like, if it comes down to Annika or Addie, she could take it or leave it. They could go Addie if they really want. I do remember an interesting scene about people starting to talk about, like, how some people are friends basically from, like, the cities they live in, which I guess I think some people were starting to look at Nick with that.
Yeah, poor Nick.
I do want to say before I toss off to you guys to talk about it for a couple minutes, that I do think it's really good that we get to see Dan talking more throughout this round. We get a lot more Dan sauce, because that's something I don't feel like we really got a lot of in the premiere, at least maybe not to my satisfaction, where Dan flat out says, it's just kind of talking about his thoughts and everything going on, which again, I do really like that Dan's finally like getting more to talk about himself, at least to my satisfaction. But I feel like Dan and Ben are really insulating themselves very well, and borderline Amelia kind of is too. I'll toss off to you guys.
Yeah, I gotta give to Dan. He's doing a really good job in round 3 here. Kind of, he has this core 3, and he has 2 people who can do a lot of talking, while he kind of sits back and just kind of is like the listener in this around it, and it's pretty cool to see that, because Ben and Amelia are really just kind of just yapping it up with everybody doing kind of like the dirty work kind of, and Amelia says, yeah, just throw my name out there to Annika and just be like, yeah, I'll be the other like fake vote off, and like that's pretty ballsy to do right there, but it's Amelia, she'll just do anything and go with it, which is awesome. But then Ben throwing out Amelia to Annika, being like, yeah, she's been throwing her name out there. So like that was pretty cool to see Ben just kind of go build off that. So
I forgot to say this last round. Wasn't there like a joke? Was it this tribal or was it the round 2 tribal where they were making jokes about Ben and Amelia when Ben was voting?
This was a tribal.
Okay, we'll get to it then. Yeah, we'll get to it then. Yeah, because I thought it was really funny, and I had a funny joke for that. Sorry. If you guys want to keep going.
Yeah, I'll stop glazing Dan here, but yeah, you know what? Dan did a really good job of this tribal, just kind of laying low and just kind of listening, while Ben and Amelia did all the work with talking with Annika and Addie and Nick, and just getting that all sealed and stamped and approval. So Steib, what's up?
Yeah, no, I'll keep it brief, but I second a lot of what y'all are saying, that DAB Alliance is looking pretty good right now, orchestrating the vote out just to get Joey out. And now it seems like they're going to kind of do something similar here between 2 other fairly early boots in the game, or first boot. And it seems like it's the right move for them right now, because they do want to continue working together in this game and go further. So hopefully it's the right move for them going forward as a tribe.
Yeah, I can add on to it as well. At least from the perspective of different alliances going into this as well. With Nick's name really being off the table pretty dang early on into that round, both Nick and Dan both really don't have to worry about keeping someone else in the game, to the point where, at least early on in the round, we see Ben really wanting to keep Annika in the game, and then Amelia really wanted to keep Addie in the game. And so it forces Ben and Amelia to put in extra work to make sure their vote ends up being the one that happens. Now, of course, we see later, once Nick tells Ben that Annika has an idol, Ben's tune just flips immediately.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, that was a very smart move from Nick. A very smart move to tell Ben, especially at that point, because that almost confirmed what they were going to do at that vote, in my eyes, at least.
I do like how Nick didn't bring it up last tribal, but he brings it up now, knowing that Annika is on like the radar. So gotta give props to Nick there, bringing that up.
And we see Amelia go to work to try and make sure that Addie's not the vote here. We see her go into different conversations trying to pitch why Annika should go home. It's like, because Annika knows people from the other tribe. like there are new people to this game. The season 5, there are only 2 season 5ers left in the game, and even if it is partially because they are friends outside of it, going to bat like that was a good move from what it seems like.
Right, I do feel like it makes a lot of sense for Amelia too, because like I mean, Amelia flat out is. I mean, although she is saying like, I know at one point it was this round or the last round, she was like, you can take it or leave it with Addie. Like she is going off and telling people like, hey, I want Addie here because I think A, B, C, D. And I think she also knows Addie's gonna want to be around her and help her a lot throughout this game. You know, like I do think there was a funny scene. I remember where it was before Tribal. I think it was Addie and Amelia were talking. Annika had just left. And like Amelia's like, hey, Addie. And it's just like, are you going to vote me off again? Or something like that. I just thought it was funny. And then you like,
that was great.
With the Annika and Addie conversation, you see like, I think it was Ben, Nick, and Dan talking. And they were like, oh, how funny is Ben's like, how funny is it that the 2 potential boots are talking right now?
You see parallels to season Calm vs. Chaos again. The 2 boots having that awkward conversation with each other, trying to just do whatever.
Yep.
Joey Dick and Calm vs. Chaos. I remember filming that, and I I thought it was so funny.
And then also Nick trying to get Ben alone to show him his advantage he has, and then Amelia comes in, and then you see Nick just being like, oh. Yeah, does a great little segment there because, in his confessional, Nick was, talking about how Ben told him that he had this pre-merge shot in the dark advantage thing, and he wanted to show Nick that to gain some trust. But he has not gotten the chance to do that yet because just circumstance, of course. And it was just so funny seeing Nick's eye roll when Amelia comes in. Just comes in frame and then be like, oh my god, I can't get a second with this guy. But yeah,
his eyeballs were doing the worm this time.
There we go. But yeah, I don't think
really funny. Well, and I will say too, like from just with Nick in general, like I've had that feeling in a game where like I'm trying to get to someone like one-on-one and being like, I really need to talk to you. And out of nowhere, I just cannot get it. Like, that was something in Legends that happened, actually, like, multiple times. Like, the double tribal round, I think it was, where I'm trying to talk to people, and I'm like, can we please talk one-on-one? Or like, no. And I was just, like, rejecting. There was someone else, I'm like, can we talk one-on-one? Like, I want to be alone. And they were just like, no. And they're talking, like, 3 other people. I'm like, well, I know where this is going. I was wrong, but, like, I don't know. Like, I kind of saw parallels to that. Because, like, I saw Nick trying to talk to people, and I'm like, oh, Nick.
Oh. Something else I want to bring up as well.
Yeah.
Is we see Nick vote on the other side of the vote last tribal. And there is the whole witch hunt basically to figure out, hey, who voted this way? I feel like at a certain point, everyone is starting to put the piece together. And I think like most of the people on this tribe at this point know it was Nick who did it. And the problem, though, is that Nick is still denying it. We see in the later conversation with Dan and Nick, where Dan's talking to Nick about like, hey, did you vote for Addie that last tribal? And he's like, and Nick's like, no. He's like, yeah, that's crazy because I was Joe E with the naming convention too, which is another funny thing I might add is the fact that they're confirming things based on how they wrote the vote.
Yeah,
which is very interesting to see here. But that he voted with Joe E, and then Ben did the whole thing about the Big Joe. And so when you put the pieces together, there realistically isn't anything else that would make sense, especially from Dan's perspective or from Ben's perspective, that Nick has to be the vote that went that way. And the fact that Nick's still denying it could smell danger.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Right. That's why I'm really worried for Nick at this point in the game, just because if people do piece together that it was him that did that, he threw a little shade out to Addie at the same time, could that affect him? And I mean, luckily it doesn't really do much for him this round, but like who really knows in the future?
Yeah, my biggest worry for Nick in this scenario is that by lying to Dan in this kind of scenario, he severs some semblance of trust with Dan so that eventually maybe down the line, Dan has to make a tough decision between Nick and someone else. And he's like, well, I know this person has been honest to me more so than this person, so I'm going to cut him. Of course, no shade for Nick. Love him. I have a funny story, is that there's this guy in one of my classes at school who looks exactly like Nick, and I keep having to do double takes because I'm like, what is he doing here? That's not him. What?
Sam, you need to send me a picture of this man right now. Oh my gosh, Nick's in the chat right now.
There
Yeah,
he is.
I gotta get a photo of this guy because it is like spitting image, and I'm like, what the fuck?
What up, Nick?
What's up, Nick?
Hey.
Broken lurking in the chat.
If I remember, I'll get a pic and I'll send it to you because I just keep running into this guy, and I'm like, what the heck is happening?
That's great. Oh shit! Never mind.
I'm trying to think of what I was about to say.
Yo, damn. Sorry about that, Nick.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Nick. I
I
was gonna tell him 101, so I thought it
you.
would have been more appropriate, but okay.
I'm trying to think of what
Fair.
else happened before Tribal that was talking worthy.
I do know Annika's talking a lot, and kind of like Joey, I believe she's not really thinking it's gonna be her. I think she kind of believes that she's safe.
Yeah, because Ben really made her feel comfy, and I do give props for Ben with that because he did really do a good job of making sure that not really not even knowing that she had the idol, she made her feel comfy enough to not have to scramble around and be like, oh crap, my name's being thrown out there. But she knew her name was being thrown out there, but she didn't really think it was a big deal or anything like that all. So Ben did a really good job by that.
Ben is blowing up the chat right now.
Yeah, this is news to me because I was about to attach onto that. I do think Ben not knowing, weirdly enough, I feel like Ben not knowing about the idol kind of helped mist Annika even more, weirdly enough, because Ben didn't have to be in a situation where he has to lie, and it's a lot easier to tell the truth than it is to have to lie about something like that. Now, what's funny as well, I feel like, is that in this kind of situation, if Annika goes home, I feel like Ben puts himself in weirdly a better spot, because now he's at a point where there's Dan and Nick on one side, and then there's Amelia and Addie on another side. Unless those four some kind of congregate together, he's put in a middle position. That's just from what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said. Should I take this on the comment from Dan? This wasn't on camera, but I definitely lied to Annika after she talked with Nick and Ben. Yeah, no, that's a very good point, Dan. Thank you for mentioning that. Of course, we can't get every little moment or every little sound bite. So yeah, no, that's some very helpful insight. Hell yeah. And also, hello, Jimmy. Thank you for joining us as well.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Also, I just gotta say, Ben's face during that whole thing with his shocked
Oh
face.
my god!
Oh, it's so funny. Oh my god, I love it. like send me a magnet with Ben's shocked expression on it or something to put on my fridge.
I'm a very expressive person.
I think his mom.
Every time it's
I think his mom was even saying that when it was at Tribal Council, I'm reading the live chat. And I think it was his mom was all like, Ben, mute your face.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
That was a savage comment from Ruth. Shout out Ruth.
We need Ruth for season 11, guys. Ruth for season 11. That's all I'm going to say. I want to be so badly on casting to see if she actually applies. I want to help cast. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we really want to talk about with Koa before we just go to the third tribal?
Well, Addie had, I think, the title of the episode. So her little, I don't know.
The classic, the smoke break too. That was
god, so funny. Before tribal, yeah, can I just get a smoke break?
That for how I played, where I'm panicking during these pre-tribal phrases, going out being willing to step away and do that quickly is astonishing to me. Oh
Fair.
My gosh.
That's the beauty of this season. We have so much more time now, and we have so much more content in our episodes, and it's just this season is shaping up to be a really good one. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned, folks.
Because Purple's tribe, I think, had the fastest from scramble time to tribal council ever, probably. It doesn't see on camera, but it was 10 minutes, and then that was it. I was like, oh my god, we have we were so ahead of schedule then, because we give them 20, 25 minutes to talk, and they were just all like ready to go. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Like, all right, bet, let's get to it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was like, fine. I literally had to go tell them like, yeah, they're all good to vote. Like, we can start like now, really.
Well,
But,
I
yeah, it
mean,
was so
if
funny.
they're not utilizing the time given to them, though, then they can't complain when they get voted out.
I mean, that's on them at that point.
Right.
Like-
They need
Yeah,
to
because
utilize the time.
everybody was ready to vote. Like, I was telling them like, yeah, let's go. So like, you know,
Make an easy decision for
say
the
less, right?
I was about to say, like, if I'm in a game and everyone's saying that right off the bat, I'm gonna be kind of paranoid, being like, no, like, I kind of want to know why everyone's going so quick into this now. Like,
Yeah, it's funny because everybody was like ready to go. So like, no, it was hilarious. So like, okay, you know, fine by me.
I think we should go into.
Oh yeah, let's go to tribal.
Yeah. So tribal council. I do think again, there's some funny parts with Ben kind of like going like.
Ben's facial
Ben's
reactions are another
I
classic.
love that Ben's still around to give us that.
Yeah, we get Addie with the fuck ass Bob, Shannon with the fuck ass Bob.
Shannon with the fuck ass Bob in reference to Survivor 49. Shannon with the fuck ass Bob. We've been quoting that for weeks, so like the fact that we can finally now say that, like, it's just so funny. Although we did say it in pop.
Also, we see again with Addie and Amelia interacting pre-tribal during the question, being like, hey, am I in danger? Or something like that along the lines, and just having that connection going back and forth of like, I don't want to do anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I fucking love their banter so much. It's so fun.
And then, of course, Dan with the cat-themed question.
Oh my.
I just got to bring this up because it's so funny to me how it caught on. It didn't catch immediately, but then it caught. The whole question as a whole, it's just.
Yeah, Ben pointed out that it's not from season 49. It's
someone. Am I the only one who did not know that until just now?
Well, you know what? Season 49, Shannon had to have had adopted this name and this moniker because she was playing a fuck ass game.
All I'm saying is there are a lot of fuck ass Bobs out there, so can you refer to anyone?
No, but yeah, I knew it, but I was supposed to go with it. I was like, fuck it, you know.
You tell me. Oh my gosh, we're gonna.
You went right over my head on that one because I was about to elaborate. I was like, yeah, you know, it's not Shannon from, you know.
Hey, Richie, you seem so shocked. You look like Ben.
Because now I look like an asshole for making jokes about that last few weeks.
Real politicians have fact checkers.
It was literally a joke about Shannon from Survivor 49. I didn't think it was like.
It was literally episode 1 of this season. It wasn't it wasn't put on the episode, but we have film where like it was like her talking about Shannon, like someone who she has beef with.
We shouldn't talk about if it's outside of game stuff, if it's private.
Yeah.
She made it public, but yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna go deep into it. And then that just caught on because she said, "Yeah, Shannon with the fuck ass Bob," and then that just caught on. I was like, "That's fucking amazing." But yeah.
All right.
It was an iconic tribal council. This episode was full of iconic moments, like the Shannon with the fuck ass Bob, like Ben with his expressive face, and he's an expressive guy. Queen's Will and Kayla shaking ass at the beginning of the episode.
And
like this.
Guys, you know,
there's a lot of referenceable stuff here.
There is.
Ben apparently claims that he told Annika about something during that wasn't filmed, you guys. I wouldn't know, but I think Ben's been saying it quite a lot, hasn't he?
I mean, yeah, and in all caps too.
Yeah.
I love Ben. I love.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were going to say Alex?
No, I'm finished. If no one else has anything to say about the talking during tribal, we can go right to the votes and.
Yeah. Do we?
Yeah.
Let's get
I do want to say, while they were voting, I didn't think it was funny that I think it was this round. I'm 90% sure it was this round after you guys told me it was, but then again, I thought you guys said something. Yeah, I'm right. So I think it was like Ben's voting for, I believe it was Annika, I believe it was, and he flat out. I think someone's making a joke because Ben was saying good things about Amelia, and they're like, "Oh, Ben, you have a little crush on Amelia." And it's like, "Ooh, I don't know, maybe a little. It was something like that. And I'm like, are we about to get fucking Rob and Amber up in this bitch? Like, geez, like, dear God. Like, I was
He is saying Addy repeatedly in the chat now.
Oh, Addy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Addy,
I
that's
voted
what
for Addy. Yeah.
Yeah. He voted for Addy. Oh, God, he's doing it again.
I voted for Addy. Holt fuck.
Well, I was going to broadcast so you guys can see what we're seeing. Yes,
Yeah,
Ben.
yeah, because that was, again, smart by Ben. It was a smart move by Ben, because knowing that, Annika has the idol, and, like, if Annika throws a rogue vote for whoever the hell, it's still a split vote between Ben and Addy then, so.
I will say as well, at least if voting with your ally in this kind of situation, it does burn like Addy later on, of course, that could burn, but it also demonstrates that if you're with him, you're with him, right? Like if you're with Ben, he is with you.
Yes.
And subconsciously that can have an effect on people.
Right, I definitely agree. So with the vote, no idols are played. Third person vote off of Survivor Wisconsin Season 9, second chance. Annika. Annika gets voted out. And you see, I think Annika definitely is, again, another person who's definitely blindsided in her little interview going up to, again, Edge of Extinction, Redemption Island, whatever you want to call it. She's shocked. I think she made a funny quote where she's all like, don't trust the men, or like, don't trust. I thought it was kind of funny, but like, Annika not using the idol, which is like, damn,
Just brutal.
Right. It was. I don't think we've had a lot of people go out with idols in their pockets that in our Survivor series that I can recall. I know there's definitely been a couple, but I don't think there's any that like I can recall because most people just use their idol. They hear their name once to be safe. That's why whenever I have, if like the couple times I had any idols advantages playing the game, I got off my ass immediately because I'd rather use it while I have the time than get cocky and think I don't have to use it and then go home with it up my ass like happens to Survivor 46. Like
it's like either use it or lose it.
Exactly right. It's use it or lose it. Like I'd rather be.
It's like being in the game without an idol is significantly better than not being in the game with an idol.
Right? Exactly. So
I'm a gambling man. I'm sorry.
So unless you're absolutely sure that you're not the one getting the votes, play that shit.
Right, exactly. Like I mean, like if you literally have individual immunity on you, that's one thing. But like, I don't know. Like for me, I'm the type of person where, like if I hear my name, I'd rather be safe than sorry and just get it off. Even if I waste it, I'd rather flush it and guarantee myself because you never know if it's gonna go to rocks either. Like, I don't know. Or anything you three want to say about this tribal council, the Annika vote, etc. before we go on to some more stuff?
It sucks to see Annika go out early again. I wanted to see Annika have a more chance to play the game, but
I think she wants to see more of her shot too. So far,
she still has a chance to get back into the game though. So
I mean, that's the beauty of it is there is always that chance to get back in the game. And especially for those people who are getting booted early again that we just haven't seen enough chance to see of, hopefully we can keep seeing them. And hopefully they have a chance to get back in,
Right. I'm hoping soon we get to see some fun content from them because I do know, like, it's always fun to kind of see some content on Redemption, whether it's game related or not, to kind of see them, like, how they're reacting to everything going on. Just because it always is funny. Like, I mean, I definitely remember when I was on Redemption Island, Edge of Extinction, whenever we called it, in Evolution, that I remember I was trying to play the game from beyond the game and just trying to make fun content because I'm like, you know what? I'm not coming back in. I want to do something fun. Like, I mean, maybe I'm hoping they're doing the same, but, we haven't seen anything from them yet. So, I mean, who knows?
And I will say, finally, not someone from Converse Chaos.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Finally,
there you go.
Finally, come on.
Right. All right. Anything else anyone wants to say? Steib, do you say anything yet, or?
No, I haven't said anything, but I've lost my train of thought for the moment. I'll get back to you.
We could go to questions. Actually, no. No.
Player the episode. Yeah, don't worry, Alex. I'm leading. All right, so we can go to player of the episode, and I'll kind of say this because I kind of feel like it's a very simple answer. Although I was initially, because I thought for some reason it was Will, and I was gonna be like, oh, it's good Will, advantage knowledge or whatever is like. But then I realized like I don't think it was Will who got that advantage knowledge from Richard. I think I might have mistaken that because they had confessionals next to each other, so I think that's why I got confused before. But as well, I will say it's good. Will is in a good spot right now, but I do have to give it to Ben. Ben clearly is the player of the episode for me. He basically kind of just he borderline kind of this episode was borderline all about Ben, you know, like some of that Whitewater episodes, they had episodes called like Rich Dog Has Arrived. This one almost could have been called Ben Has Arrived, and it would have just fit so well because it's like the episode borderline feels like it revolves around Ben in a way. So I'll pass it off to you, Sam.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, if I could give one for each tribe, I will.
Okay.
But at least
Do it.
From the blue tribe, whose name I can't remember for some reason.
Liko and Teal.
For Liko, at least, player of the episode from that side, at least, feels like it's Amaris.
Yeah, I agree.
Amaris has put herself in a spot where if we made like an alliance chart, like for all the alliances here, it'd be like a Ferris wheel with Amaris at the very center, with all these spokes going out to pretty much everyone. And so Amaris has put herself in such a good spot that even if they lose, I don't think Amaris is in any danger at some form where I can make an argument for maybe 4 of the people in that tribe to be in danger. And then looking at the other tribe, someone I want to shout out is Amelia, because what we see is that Amelia comes from a situation of not really knowing anyone besides Addie prior to that social hour, to then putting herself in a spot where she's now firmly in the center of her own tribe, to the point where, at least coming up to this next vote, getting it to the point where Addie's not the one going home, and Addie's still in the game. And so now Amelia's at a spot where the 5 people on her tribe, where she's got a 3-person alliance plus Addie, who realistically I feel like is really only close to Amelia. And yeah.
Yeah. I like those picks. Steib.
Yeah. Going back to my final thoughts on the Annika vote out. Ultimately, it is the game of Survivor is full of gambles, and ultimately that was a gamble to try and save that idol for future use. And in the chaos of that very eventful, very funny tribal, you know, it could have been either way, to be honest. So I don't blame Annika at all for not using it. And as we've seen in other seasons of our show, once idols go out like that and they end up going home in pockets, who knows if something else may turn up maybe by the next round, who knows? But that remains to be seen, of course. But as far as player of the episode, because this is a double boot, I feel like it is fair to mention 2 players. So my honorable mention will go to Maris because, you know, we all picked her last week, didn't we? And it was a sweep, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
I think we did. Yeah. The 3 of us and Jimmy. Yeah. I think we all picked Amaris, and we all picked Amaris for all the right reasons. She's playing a fantastic game. She's locked in. And I really appreciated that Ferris wheel, Maris wheel analogy y'all got going on. That's pretty funny.
Ferris wheel.
Going back to what Aleks was saying earlier, I'm going to give my true player of the episode to Dan Kitty, because being in this 3-person alliance on Koa and leading the way and getting out these people, you know, and ultimately being able to keep cool and keep calm and try to stay out of, you know, the lines of sight, and like trying to keep it cool and not spread the word, right? When you have people like Ben and Amelia doing that for you, I think Dan's just sitting at a good spot right now. He's my player.
I started thinking of South Park where like Carmen's screaming at the cat. He's like, "No, Mr. Kitty says my papa."
Dan says, of course, the Jimmy Glazer. Dan in the chat says, of course, the Jimmy Glazer would go Team Jimmy. Hell yeah, that's what I was saying in the premiere in that chat.
So
honorary Team Jimmy.
I should have won 3rd and not Steib, because I'm also picking. Well, my honorable mention's Ben, but I'm picking Dan as my player of the episode, just because we won't see a lot of him, but a lot of the background stuff he's been doing, it has really been building up his kind of spot on that tribe to where he can reach out and grab people willy-nilly and just kind of, be safe in a lot of these places he's going. So, Ben's doing a lot of the heavy lifting on that tribe, but Dan's doing a lot of the background stuff that's not really being seen on camera, I feel like. Yeah.
All right. So we all had a lot of different ones. Nick saying, "Whoa, Aleks." What did you say? Nick, can I hit him? Can I hit him, Nick? Nick, yes.
Times have changed. I'm a Dan Glazer now.
Wow.
Glazer. Nick, can I hit him?
Glaze has shifted.
Can I hit him, Nick? Please say yes. Please
the
say
skills have shifted,
Hey,
Richie,
good moves deserve glaze. That's all we're saying.
Yes, Sam, I saw that. I love that. Sam, bonk Aleks with me. Help me.
Oh my God.
Bonk.
Oh man, that's great.
Okay, actually, it's good I'm talking to you right now, Sam.
I still love you, Nick.
We did this last week with Jimmy.
I think I got a
I
concussion.
want to do this quickly again with you right now. Sam, if you have any fun little questions for us before we turn it over to the live viewers for their questions.
I mean, my only real question is something that I also wanted to talk about. Right now, we're seeing a lot of content from specific players.
Yeah.
Who is your dark horse contender who we truly haven't seen much from in the game, or maybe they haven't been shown as much, but is someone who, in theory, could be setting themselves up really well for the future, who could take a stab at the win?
For this season we're talking about.
Yeah, this season.
Okay, yeah. At this point in time in the game, still being night one, when we were in night one, my thought with that was Maddie being that type of player. Because again, Maddie's pretty well enslaved within her tribe. She had a pretty big say the first tribal. She was setting herself up pretty damn well by this point of the game being around 3. So my dark horse pick, I would say, would be Maddie.
At this point in time, my dark horse pick is Kayla. Actually, sure, she's seen a bit more, but her strategic side is not really being seen a lot right now. But that's just because they've been winning. So I feel like she's a dark horse pick.
Hell yeah. I appreciate that. She's on Team Steib. Much appreciated. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Richie on this one. I think my dark horse pick is also gonna be Maddie, because she's got this hidden idol and nobody knows that she has it. And like y'all said, she's well insulated in this tribe, and she once again could make a very deep run. Who knows?
All right, Sam, do you got any other questions for us right now that you want to ask us while I try to find this? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I just have a comment more so on, from what I'm seeing as a viewer as a dark horse, really, is that we're not getting much from Kira, but Kira is so behind the scenes, I feel like, on everything, that Kira could be a dark horse in this game. Other questions I guess I can ask.
Yeah, we can't say what's going to happen the rest of the season, but we can answer any questions about this season up to this point or past seasons, whatever you want for it. So.
Who were you most surprised to see come back?
Most surprised? I'd have to say Joey and Annika. I was really worried because usually a lot of the first boots usually kind of get forgotten, or some of them just don't always get the best. It's kind of ironic, and I say that considering the episode tonight. But when I first saw that they were going in, I was good, because I was about to go make a campaign saying we need to get some of these pre-merged people back in. So people like Joey, Annika, Nick, and Dan coming in this season, I was really surprised that they're getting another shot, because I was let's go. A lot of fun players back in the mix. So I was very, very excited to see them back in. So
obviously mine's Dick. You know.
So was Dick a late addition after the fact, or was that planned more in advance to where?
Well, Dick, I think, was going to play, and then he wasn't sure if he could. And then I think it was a week before he found out he was able to, I believe is what we were told.
We didn't know. We just looked at the script when we got there the day of, and it said mystery 15th player, and we're like, huh?
Yeah, we don't want to say too much into that, though. But, Yeah.
I mean, certainly that's the most obvious choice for biggest surprise. But as far as like, if we're going back to the cast reveal, for similar reasons, yeah, a lot of those early boots are good surprises to come back because, when you are an early boot, it's not a good feeling. And to be able to come back after an early boot and to try again, it does take courage. So yeah, my similar surprise picks could have been people like Addie or Amelia. And I'm glad they were able to come back. I'm glad everybody was able to come back.
All right. I think we should turn over to the viewer questions because there's a couple that have been waiting for a while. I do know Devin had a question for Sam, if I can find it. Devin,
was it one like?
It was a while ago. Yeah, he asked Sam, "Do you think all Wisco winners should be able to be asked for All Stars in the future?"
As well, I'll say right now, as a Wisco winner, who is willing to play All-Stars, I think the answer to that should be yes. No, I think all winners should be able to ask for All-Stars in the future. Just to shout out a little bit. Me. Anyways, but honestly, yeah, no, I think I don't have anything else really to say to that. I think the answer is a clear yes.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I could see you in a tribe because I think we talked about this a couple seasons back. If there was like ever they did like a tribe of all winners, like All Stars would be a very interesting time to try that. Like I could see like you in a tribe with people like Taylor or like Allie and like Mike. I think would just be the funniest thing to watch.
It'd be nuts.
It'd be nuts.
It'd be nuts, and I am here for it.
Next question comes from Devin, also for Sam. Sam, who were you most excited to see play again from the Second Chance cast?
So first, my obvious answer is Joey, just because we are friends. But that's besides the point. Putting it from just a viewer perspective, I'm so happy to see a lot of season 8 coming back because that's my season, of course. For at least from season 8, the person I'm most excited to see come back was what I would say would be it was Dick. Dick coming back was a big shock to me. I mean, it was to every viewer. Like, we were not expecting this at all. Seeing Dick come back was awesome. I was like, oh, that's great. Because at least from me talking to him during our season, he really didn't have that much of like a chance to really play in the game that long. He kind of got screwed by a twist a little bit. And I mean, granted, I'm partly to blame, and I could have been the one screwed by that twist. So, but I was very happy to see Dick come back and have another chance as well. Richie, if you're saying something, we can't hear you.
I know. I just realized that as the little pop, I was like, your mic's muted. And I'm like, oh boy. No, I was about to make a joke saying you held on to your idol for that tribal, right?
Oh yeah. That was, I know I mentioned earlier, like, hey, if you're sure, unless you're absolutely sure to play it, do as I say, not as I do. I'll say that because that was a risk. And talking just from earlier seasons, seeing Ben be able to come back again was awesome. But then seeing Amaris come back as well, because from the little stuff I watched from season 7 before even this season, I'm like, Amaris has potential to be a good player, just didn't have any cards fall her way at all. And so having her actually come back and now have a chance to show it is awesome. I think anyone coming into the season with like the part on their chest being like, hey, I didn't have a chance to do what I want to, let's freaking do it. And actually have a chance to do it is awesome.
That's awesome. I agree with all that, Sam. There's a lot of fun people that you were also talking about that. I was like, yeah, I agree with that. Next question's for me. Thank you, Devin. I love being an attention whore. He's probably laughing on the other side of his screen, being like, of course he said that. My question is, Richie, what's your favorite aspect of the season so far? What's your favorite aspect? What's the favorite aspect? My favorite aspect of the season so far is really the theme and the casting, which both kind of go hand in hand for this. Like, I love when I've done stuff in the past for allergies I've done in the past. Like, I loved being involved in casting, being able to kind of see people predict who's going to go far, who's not going to go far, look and kind of analyze and help to pick and choose, like, who could do really well, especially newbies as well. Like, I had a pretty good knack as well when I did Survivor games in like St. Norbert, which I'm not going to go into depth with that, but I would usually try to pick a winner pick, and I was usually pretty damn close. Like, most of my winner picks actually made it pretty far in the game. So like, I think one season back-to-back seasons, by my winner picks made it to the final tribal. So like, I mean, but yeah, no. So like, The casting, the theme, which again go hand in hand. Yeah, I thought I just definitely love it because again, I love casting, and for a theme like this, it's so much fun to speculate and kind of look into the cast. Yeah, casting's fun. So I mean, I guess kind of looking at the cast, speculating what was going to happen. Although it would have been fun to be on the other side of it, just being able to see the cast come together and all that. So sorry, I'm rambling. I'll go on to the next question. Another question from Devin. What do y'all think we can change to make one-day games go smoother, get a location where we don't need to be the dark? ? I'll pass off to you guys first, and I'll give my thoughts because I've talked for a couple minutes now.
That's hard.
Yeah, I can start a little bit just from experience. For the one-day games, I feel like at least you got to plan for chaos, especially because stuff will go wrong. That is a definite. For at least for that, plan for chaos, hope for the best, plan for that. The other thing as well is something I was actually a little bit surprised when I played is that we started at like 10 or so, or like 11, if I remember correctly. And I was surprised.
10, 11-ish. Sorry.
It was later than I expected because I'm like, for a one-day game, you only have so many days, hours in the day to keep it working. I was surprised it wasn't like an 8 a.m. or like earlier start for the season. And granted, I don't know how that fits into your guys' schedule or anything like that.
I like my sleep.
I know, but I like my Survivor.
Don't we all? I think that's a fantastic point. And if I were to answer Richie's question about best aspects of this season, it would relate to this as far as a solution to this one-day situation, like what you're saying. Honestly, if we just kick the start time back a couple more hours and get the maximum amount of time out of the day, it would definitely add a lot more like time for these people to strategize and not be as chaotic in nature. And that's the beauty of this season, because we are doing a 2-day season. We have so much more time and so much more content, and it's so well fleshed out with the characters we got on the show. Yeah, I think time is the answer. Yeah, well said.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. The other thing, of course, is also, Devin pointed out in the chat that the park only opened up at 10, which that makes a lot more sense now I think about it as well. I mean, the biggest thing with the one day is that the earlier rounds are always going to take so much longer than the later rounds as more and more you get into the game. It's just once you hit a stride, it should be perfectly fine. I don't really think there is, at least from my perspective, I didn't really see a problem with the one-day game, at all for Helm vs. Chaos. Like, I feel like that ended at honestly a perfect time to end, because it had gotten dark a bit at that point. It started to become a little bit hard to see. Accounting for the darkness, especially with filming from experience, is very annoying to do, very hard to do. But all in all, I don't really have many complaints from that.
Yeah, Aleks, Steib, do you guys want to go next, or do you guys not have much to say for this?
No, Sam literally said what I say is at the time.
I said what I said. Yeah, I'm good.
But,
I feel like, I mean, I know Devin said in the comments about how some of our locations being like based in like a certain park. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's like it kind of opens at a certain time. So sometimes we're not able to get there earlier just because of when it opens. But I mean, getting a location where we don't need to be the dark could be really good. However, I do know more likely than not that could involve Airbnbs, which mean it could be possibly more to like just get into it and like buy it. But I think it could be very interesting. I don't know. I mean, like, I wouldn't say I have too many problems with one-day games. I mean, I definitely have a lot of like fun thoughts of like stuff that I think could be really good for the future, and like to make one-day games like I don't want to say like give more variety, but or like I don't know. I'm probably not saying what I think I'm saying, but like, yeah, I mean, I feel like one-day games have gone pretty smoothly. I think it's always, like I said, like keeping things fresh, adding in new aspects, new people, just fun new things. I mean, definitely new location. If that's what you're implying, like new locations are definitely very interesting. So like, I mean, I felt like one-day ones have gone smooth. I think Helm vs. Chaos was fun because of the weather, but like, I don't think we can really control the weather. Like, damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
All right, we're
goddamn Mother Nature kind of
we like two questions.
I know, I know.
Really running low on time here.
I know. There was another one or a couple other questions I want to get through. Ben asked Sam, do you think you would do better or worse on a 2-day like this? Would it change your strategy compared to Helm vs. Chaos?
So Ben, I have played in 2 days and like 3 days before. In other LRGs, I won't speak to my experiences in those more so, but the main difference that I've at least found between doing a 1 day versus doing a multi-day is the fact that you just have more time to talk, and that's generally the mostly whole thing. So my strategy from Converse Chaos was to kind of talk and just kind of get a vibe from everyone most of the time and get the kind of strategic there. And make connections. So my only really change would be I'd just be talking more, or I'd try and connect more, and the more time I had. Now, do I think I'd do better or worse on a 2-day? I arguably would say I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know if I would do better or worse. I'd lean more on the side of doing a little bit worse with this give and cast for CDs in terms of only Converse Chaos talk. Because then the jury would have more time to collect their thoughts on everyone's games. There would be more time in the jury phase of the game for people to be like, hey, I feel like this person did more, this person less. Because truly, that's something that could happen in that kind of scenario. I don't know if I could do better or worse on that, though. I'd like to see it happen. The other difference is I've won a 1-day game. I haven't won a 2-day game. So I feel like that's the answer.
There we go.
Yeah, I will say, coming from someone who's done 1-day and multi-day games definitely, like, it shakes you a little bit. At least it did for me. Maybe it won't for you. Because there are a lot
oh my gosh, it does.
Ben asks, Richie, was I your new blood winner pick? Ben, I think you were my second or third pick. My number one pick was actually John. But then again, I also didn't get to talk to you much before the game, like the day of. I think I talked to like Atticus, Annika, Maddie, and John when I did their interviews, and like John just popped out. I was like, John. And that was close. I mean, he got top 5. That wasn't a bad pick. Sorry, Ben. I'm trying to think. Devin said he's glad we could get you on, Sam. Honored to have you as our reigning champ, sir.
Thanks, Steph. Thanks for the invite. I'm happy to be on here. I just love talking about all things Survivor, and I love the show you guys put on. It's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. We loved having you.
Yeah, we're glad you came on tonight, Sam. Devin asks, Richie, are you hinting you want to be involved in casting for the seasons? Yes. I'm fighting it that well. I'm not even hinting at it. Like, I want to be involved. Like, I love casting. It's another fun part of pre-production I like. Ben says, just for Sam, they asked you about your dark horse winner pick, but who's your absolute winner pick right now?
So yeah, absolute winner pick. That's a good question, because it's hard for me to narrow it down to just one specific person for a winner, especially this early on. I'll say one from each tribe just to make it a little bit more, static. Right now, I think at least I'm looking at connections. Right now, my winner picks are either between Maris or Dan. I feel like they're both the best connected players, and in a game that is super rapid paced, you need those connections when you get to the end, even if they're sitting either next to you or they're on the jury wanting to vote you as the winner. So yeah, Maris or Dan.
There you go.
All right.
Good picks.
I'm just trying to. There we go. Yeah, Ben says it's a good answer, I think, is what you were saying. I'm trying to. There we go. Now we got it. All right, I'm going to close off the questions because obviously it's been a lot longer than we thought it was going to be. Not that's a bad time, Hang
on.
What?
Jimmy said, Steib, do you need a campaign manager? And the answer is absolutely. I need all the possible positions filled, and I'm certainly accepting applications myself. I also need hundreds of millions of dollars, because we live in a flawed society where you're not able to run for president unless you have money.
Support you,
Steib.
We got 10 years.
I can support you in love, but I can't.
We got 10 years to build it up. But no, Jimmy is definitely getting a cabinet spot. Steib 2036, baby. Let's go.
Steib, I need that on like a bumper sticker I can put on my car.
Yes.
I'm so honored.
Yes, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go to the next episode preview. I'm gonna close off the questions for tonight. Thank you guys. This is so much fun. I love the live questions, interacting with everyone. It's actually my favorite part of doing this. So it's one of my absolute favorite parts. Episode 3 preview I'm going to get into right now. All right. And obviously, I think we all know that it's going to be a fun season. Episode 3 is next week, Tuesday, November 11th. We will have a special guest for that one. And that will be followed by episode 4, which right now is shown to be Thursday, November 13th. Episode 3 for next week is looking to be as followed. Things always look brighter in the morning, especially when the game needs a shakeup. 12 remain. Who will be out next? That's all I'm going to give you guys. I saw that.
Was that a challenge flag?
No.
Oh my gosh. Remind me of like football games. Alex and I, like every 5 seconds they throw a flag and it's like, girl, another flag? Like, it's a June 14th.
Actually, challenge. It's going to keep being boring. No, I kid.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, now the game is heating up, and we just had 2 boots in our second episode, and now next week we're gonna have 2 episodes. So there's plenty of content coming. Thanks for staying tuned, and absolutely be sure to tune in next week.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, we're so glad you guys are watching. Keep staying tuned. Apply for the next season. Tell your friends to apply. Tell everyone to apply. Who knows? Maybe I'll finally be able to help get people in. Jokes aside, there's a lot of like fun stuff we got going on. Apply for seasons 11 and 12 to have a lot of fun. Who knows? Maybe you could be on the podcast with us in the future. The little breakdown here. You get to hear me talk to you. Isn't that going to be fun? Actually, it's probably going to deter them. Actually,
no, it's great. It's great. I swear, Richie, it's great.
Yeah, say it again.
What do you say?
Yeah, it's great.
What did Alex say?
Good.
What did you say, Alex?
All right.
You have such a big talk.
All right.
Okay. No, I'm joking. Okay, so seriously, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. Apply for seasons 11 and 12 next year. Applications, again, will close on Sunday, November 9th, but they will reopen January 1st, 2026. Keep watching Second Chance. Keep watching all of our past seasons, all of our past episodes. I have friends of mine who said they're starting to like watch it past seasons, past episodes, which I love to hear. And then hearing all their thoughts about how all of us have done in the past. It's so much fun. Go take a watch. It is such a fun time. We thank you guys so much for watching. In Wisconsin, I've been your host. I'm Richie. I've been here with my co-host and my guest for tonight.
I've been Alex.
I've been Aleks Steib. Thank you all for watching, and thank you, Sam, for being here.
Thank you, Sam.
All
right, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week, Tuesday the 11th, with a special guest. Steib.
I apologize if I murdered you when I was a traitor last night.
Oh my gosh. I got like 2 people.
Kayla, I swear I'm not a traitor.
And we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. I'm going to turn 26.